Yeah, news of the royal engagement. In a moment, we're going to be talking to getting the American reaction. But first, Tim Willcox at Buckingham Palace. I think you've got a member of the Australian press corps with you there, Tim.
I have, Ben. I mean, bets are being taken about how many millions or billions might watch this wedding when the date is announced at the beginning or summer of next year. But interesting just to gauge what the Australian reaction might be to this, because Lucy Carne is a correspondent for the Daily Telegraph, I think in Sydney normally. You've been here in London for 6 months. How many people will be watching this in Australia next year?
I think millions will definitely watch it. It's already made front page news across Australia in the papers coming out as we speak.
But, of course, when you combine that with that sense of republicanism in Australia, do you think this might do anything to actually bolster the monarchy over there?
Sure. I mean, the Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard has made it known that she wants to cut ties with the monarchy when the Queen either dies or abdicates. But I think that this really transcends that. People will be excited about it, young and old. They've got youth, they're good looking, they're modern, and I think plenty more Australians will watch this than, say, the wedding of Charles and Camilla. I mean, it's exciting. It's a modern prince marrying his university flatmate. Australians will like that.
But might that not translate into more support for the monarchy, perhaps, in the country in terms of the long-term impact of this?
Like I said, it's hard to predict. I mean, I think that the general sentiment in Australia is that we're so far away, the monarchy really doesn't mean much. For the old, probably more so. For the young, it's definitely become something that's just superfluous. But this wedding will definitely generate excitement.
But I remember many years ago back in Australia, when I was in Australia, and Charles and Diana, any story about them there was front page news and magazines. There was a whole industry about that. Has that changed now in Australia?
Absolutely not, but I think it's more of a guilty pleasure now than anything else. Definitely, we will be excited about this wedding.
Okay. But as you say, Julia Gillard has she commented, do you know, about this news yet?
She's yet to make comment, but I'm sure she will. But yeah, she has made it known, and many Australians do support that. We're yet to have a referendum on a republic. It may be soon, it may not be, but she has said once the Queen either dies or abdicates, she'd like Australia to cut ties.
And just remind us how close that vote was the last time.
Not sure, actually. It was pretty close, but not enough to really cut ties.
OK, Lucy, thanks very much. Lucy Carne from the Daily Telegraph. But actually, a lot of international media here, not just Australians, but all the American networks are here as well. So a big day for the international media as a whole. Back to you, Ben.
Tim, thank you very much indeed. Tim Willcox there.